You have to be careful when you buy stuff from the thrift store because you don't know where those items have been, who owned them, what they were used for, and sometimes you can bring something home with you. Now, there was this girl named Rebecca. Rebecca was from Burbank, California. One day she sees this thrift store and she goes in the door, and over in the corner, she notices this beautiful old canopy bed. And instantly she says, I have to have this bed. So she buys it and she brings it home. Well, that night she goes to bed in this new bed that she just bought. And as she's sleeping, she begins to have this dream. And in this dream, she sees this man in a flannel shirt and jeans and these boots and this big, thick gray beard. And this man begins to grab her by the arms and he begins to scratch her and basically thrash her against the bed. And eventually she wakes up terrified and she feels pain. And when she goes to the mirror, she notices she has these bruises and scratches all over her body. Well, the next night, this happens again, and the next night, and the next. And then one night, she's too terrified to go to sleep because she's worried she's going to have these nightmares. But all of a sudden, as she's laying in bed, she begins to be lifted off her bed. She's hovering about 3 feet over the top of this canopy bed. And something is lifting her up. She couldn't move. She couldn't talk. And this lasted for about 30 seconds. And then, plop, she falls onto the bed. And it was so loud that it wakes her daughter, who comes running in the bedroom and is like, what's wrong, Mom? And she says, nothing, honey, just go back to bed. So this keeps happening night after night. And then she has to go out of town. So she asked her friend to watch her house. Her friend comes over and she stays there for a couple days. Well, Rebecca decides to give her a call, ask her how things are going. And that's when her friend, starts crying on the phone. And Rebecca could tell that something was bothering her. So she goes, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? She goes, well, I slept in your bed. And I woke in the middle of the night to this old man standing at the foot of the bed. And I know he was there. I seen him. Like, I'm freaked out. And when she describes this man, it is the exact man that Rebecca had seen in her dreams. So immediately she knew that something was wrong with this bed. So when she gets back from out of town, she takes the bed and she goes back to the thrift store. And she goes inside and she tells the manager, I don't want this bed. You can have it. Like, there's something wrong with it. And she said the manager just kind of looked at her and was like, it's crazy that you brought this bed back because not even a couple weeks ago, before you bought this bed was brought back to us. We had sold it the first time. And the lady who bought it said that she didn't want it because there was something wrong with it. And so Rebecca's like, well, how did you guys get this bed? And she said, well, there was this estate of this old man who had passed away, and this was his bed and one of the items that was given to the thrift store. And so immediately Rebecca felt like that must have been the old man that I was seeing in my dreams.